Time is a tool, a ruler for measuring motion. It is abstract, just like a line of latitude or longitude. We have created it to bring order to our lives, to compare and synchronize our activities. But we must remember, it is not a physical reality, it is a social institution. Our culture, especially in the Western world, places immense importance on time. We are driven by it, enslaved to its ticking clock. This constant chase creates a sense of urgency, a drive that pushes us to meet deadlines and appointments, often causing stress and anxiety. When we fully grasp that time as a convention, we begin to see its true nature. We start to understand that our lives do not have to be ruled by the clock. By shifting our perception, we can break free from this societal construct and move towards a more natural, rhythmic existence. From the moment we are born, society assigns us an identity. We are told who we are, what is expected of us, and how we should behave. This identity becomes a role we play in the grand game of life. We invest in it emotionally, building it up over time until it feels inseparable from our true selves. But this identity is another social construct, much like time. It is a mask we wear, a part we play, and just like any role, it can be changed. By recognizing the fluidity of our identity, we open ourselves to new possibilities, to new ways of being. As we age, our identity starts to wear out. The roles we once played so well no longer fit us. This realization can be unsettling, but it is also liberating. It allows us to see that we are not defined by these roles. We are much more than the identity we have constructed. Beneath the constructs of time and identity lies the ground of being a continuum in which all physical phenomena exist. This ground is what we truly are, but it is often ignored because we are so absorbed in the details of our constructed reality. To experience the ground of being, we must shift our focus from the specifics to the whole. Practices like yoga, meditation, and mindfulness help us achieve this shift. These practices draw our attention to the background of our perception, revealing the underlying reality that we are part of. When we connect with the ground of being, we experience a profound sense of unity and peace. This connection transforms our perception, making us aware that life and death, consciousness and unconsciousness, are merely changing modalities within this continuum. Now let us bring these insights to the concept of genetic destiny. Our genes are often seen as fixed determinants of our health, behavior, and fate. However, recent scientific discoveries suggest that our genes are not as immutable as we once thought. Epigenetics, the study of how behavior and environment can affect the way our genes work, shows us that we have more control over our genetic destiny than we realize. By changing our perception of time and identity, we can influence our genetic expression. Stress, driven by the relentless ticking of the clock and the pressure to maintain our identity, can negatively impact our genes. Conversely, by embracing a more rhythmic, natural way of living, and by letting go of rigid identities, we can create a more harmonious internal environment. To change our genetic destiny, we must first embrace the natural rhythms of life. This means attuning ourselves to the cycles of nature, the rise and fall of the tides, the waxing and waning of the moon, the changing seasons. These rhythms are reflected in our own biological processes, from our heartbeat to our breathing to our sleep cycles. By living in harmony with these natural rhythms, we reduce stress and create a state of balance within ourselves. This balance has a profound effect on our genetic expression. It promotes health and well-being, enhancing our capacity for resilience and adaptation. Next, we must learn to let go of fixed identities. This does not mean abandoning all sense of self, but rather recognizing that our identity is not static. It is a fluid, evolving aspect of our being. When we hold on to rigid identities, we create tension and resistance within ourselves. This tension can manifest as physical and emotional stress, which in turn affects our genetic expression. By allowing ourselves to be flexible and open to change, we reduce this tension and create a more positive internal environment. Mindfulness and meditation are powerful tools in this journey. These practices help us become aware of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. They teach us to live in the present moment, to experience life as it unfolds, rather than being caught up in worries about the past or future. Through mindfulness and meditation, we connect with the ground of being. We become aware of the underlying reality that we are part of. This awareness brings a sense of peace and unity, reducing stress and promoting a state of balance within ourselves. Our environment and behavior play a significant role in shaping our genetic destiny. The food we eat, the air we breathe, the relationships we nurture, and the activities we engage in all influence our genetic expression. By creating a supportive environment and adopting healthy behaviors, we can positively influence our genes. This includes eating a balanced diet, getting regular exercise, spending time in nature, and cultivating meaningful relationships. These actions create a positive feedback loop, enhancing our overall well-being and promoting favorable genetic expression. One of the greatest challenges in changing our genetic destiny is letting go of the illusion of control. We often believe that we must control every aspect of our lives to achieve our goals. However, this need for control creates stress and resistance, which can negatively impact our health and well-being. Instead, we must learn to trust in the natural flow of life. This does not mean becoming passive or complacent, but rather recognizing that we are part of a larger interconnected whole. By aligning ourselves with this flow, we reduce stress and create a more harmonious internal environment. Ultimately, changing our genetic destiny involves recognizing the unity of all life. We are not separate from the world around us, but rather deeply interconnected with it. Our thoughts, feelings, and actions influence not only ourselves, but also the world around us. By cultivating a sense of unity and interconnectedness, we create a positive ripple effect that extends beyond ourselves. This sense of unity promotes a state of balance and harmony, enhancing our well-being and positively influencing our genetic destiny. Identity is a complex and multifaceted concept that plays a crucial role in shaping our perceptions, behaviors, and interactions. From birth, we are assigned various identities by society, our name, gender, nationality, and more. These identities become the lens through which we view the world and ourselves. They influence our beliefs, our choices, and our relationships. Understanding the nature of identity and how it is constructed can empower us to reshape it, and doing so, change our genetic destiny. Identity is not formed in isolation. It is constructed through our interactions with others and shaped by the cultural and social context in which we live. From an early age, we receive messages from our family, peers, education systems, media, and society at large about who we are and who we should be. These messages create a framework within which we develop our sense of self. For example, a child growing up in a particular culture will adopt the values, beliefs, and norms of that culture, which become integral to their identity. This process is known as socialization, and it is a continuous process throughout our lives. Language is a powerful tool in the construction of identity. The words we use to describe ourselves and others carry meanings that shape our perceptions and interactions. For instance, the labels we use to define our gender, race, or profession come with a set of expectations and stereotypes that influence how we and others perceive our abilities, roles, and worth. Moreover, language can both empower and limit us. It can provide us with a sense of belonging and community, but can also impose constraints and create divisions. By becoming aware of the language we use and its impact on our identity, we can begin to challenge and redefine it. Identity is not static, it is dynamic and evolves over time. As we go through different life stages and experiences, our sense of self can change. This fluidity allows us to adapt to new circumstances and grow as individuals. For example, the identity we hold as a teenager may differ significantly from the identity we hold as an adult. Our interests, beliefs, and values may shift as we gain new experiences and insights. Recognizing this fluidity can help us understand that our current identity is not fixed and that we have the power to reshape it. There are times in life when we may experience an identity crisis, a period of uncertainty and confusion about who we are and our place in the world. This crisis can be triggered by significant life changes, such as moving to a new country, losing a job, or experiencing a personal loss. While an identity crisis can be challenging, it also offers an opportunity for transformation. It invites us to question our existing beliefs and assumptions and to explore new possibilities for who we can be. By embracing this process of questioning and exploration, we can emerge with a more authentic and empowered sense of self. The ego is a central component of our identity. It is the part of our mind that mediates between our conscious self and the external world. The ego helps us navigate our daily lives, make decisions, and maintain a sense of continuity and coherence in our experiences. However, the ego can also become rigid and defensive, clinging to a fixed sense of self and resisting change. This rigidity can lead to stress, anxiety, and conflict as we struggle to maintain our identity in the face of new experiences and challenges. By becoming aware of the ego's role in our identity, we can learn to be more flexible and open to change. Our self-concept is the image we have of ourselves, including our physical appearance, personality traits, and abilities. It is shaped by our experiences and the feedback we receive from others. A positive self-concept can lead to high self-esteem, while a negative self-concept can result in low self-esteem. Self-esteem is our overall sense of worth and value. It influences how we perceive ourselves and interact with others. High self-esteem is associated with confidence, resilience, and a positive outlook on life, while low self-esteem can lead to insecurity, self-doubt, and a negative outlook. To cultivate a healthy self-concept and high self-esteem, it is important to engage in self-reflection, challenge negative self-beliefs, and seek supportive and affirming relationships. Our identity is not just an individual construct, it is also shaped by our membership in various social groups. These groups can include our family, friends, community, cultural or ethnic group, professional affiliations, and more. Social identity theory suggests that our sense of self is influenced by our group memberships and the value we place on these groups. Being part of a group provides us with a sense of belonging and security, but it can also create in-group and out-group dynamics, leading to prejudice and discrimination. By becoming aware of our social identities and the ways they influence our behavior and interactions, we can work towards greater inclusivity and empathy in our relationships with others. Identity is multifaceted, with multiple dimensions intersecting and interacting with one another. This concept is known as intersectionality. For example, a person's identity may be shaped by their gender, race, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, and more, all of which influence their experiences and perspectives. Intersectionality recognizes that these dimensions cannot be understood in isolation but must be considered together to fully appreciate the complexity of identity. By acknowledging and valuing the diversity of experiences and perspectives, we can foster a more inclusive and equitable society. In addition to the social and psychological dimensions of identity, there is also a spiritual dimension. Many spiritual traditions suggest that there is a deeper true self that lies beneath the surface of our constructed identities. This true self is often described as our essence or soul, which is connected to the greater whole of existence. In contrast, the false self is the identity we construct based on societal expectations and external validation. It is the mask we wear to fit in and gain approval. While the false self serves a purpose, it can also lead to feelings of disconnection and inauthenticity. By connecting with our true self through practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and self-inquiry, we can cultivate a deeper sense of authenticity, purpose, and interconnectedness. Consciousness is the awareness of our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It is the backdrop against which our identity is constructed. By expanding our consciousness, we can gain a broader perspective on our identity and the world around us. Practices that cultivate consciousness, such as mindfulness and meditation, help us become more aware of our habitual patterns and beliefs. This awareness allows us to question and transform these patterns, leading to a more authentic and empowered sense of self. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing our attention to the present moment with an attitude of openness and non-judgment. It involves observing our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting caught up in them. This practice can help us become more aware of the ways our identity is constructed and maintained. By cultivating mindfulness, we can develop a greater sense of self-awareness and acceptance. This awareness allows us to see the patterns and beliefs that shape our identity and to make conscious choices about how we want to define ourselves. Meditation is a powerful tool for exploring and transforming our identity. Through meditation, we can quiet the mind and connect with the deeper true self. This practice helps us see beyond the surface of our constructed identity and experience the essence of our being. Self-inquiry is a specific form of meditation that involves questioning the nature of the self. By asking questions such as, "Who am I?" and "What is my true nature?" we can peel away the layers of our constructed identity and discover the deeper truth of our existence. Our identity has a profound impact on our health and well-being. The mind and body are interconnected, and our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions can influence our physical health. For example, stress and anxiety, often related to our sense of identity and self-worth, can lead to physical health problems such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and weakened immune function. By transforming our identity and cultivating a positive self-concept, we can improve our mental and physical health. Practices such as mindfulness, meditation, and self-reflection can help us reduce stress, increase resilience, and promote overall well-being. Epigenetics is the study of how our environment and behavior can affect the way our genes are expressed. Our identity, including our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, plays a significant role in this process. Positive changes in our identity can lead to positive changes in our genetic expression, influencing our health and well-being. For example, adopting a more positive and empowered identity can lead to healthier behaviors, such as regular exercise, healthy eating, and stress reduction. These behaviors can, in turn, influence our genetic expression, promoting health and longevity. Personal growth and transformation often involve a shift in identity. As we grow and evolve, our sense of self can change, reflecting our new experiences, insights, and values. Embracing this process of change and growth is essential for our development and well-being. At the core of our discussion lies the idea that beneath the layers of our constructed reality, our identities, our roles, and the time that governs our lives, there exists a fundamental continuum. This continuum is the ground of being, the backdrop against which all life unfolds. It is not something we can easily quantify or define, for it is the very essence of existence itself. Imagine for a moment the vast expanse of the universe. Stars, planets, galaxies all exist within this boundless space. Yet this space is often ignored in favor of the more tangible objects within it. Similarly, the ground of being is the backdrop of our lives, a constant presence that we often overlook because we are so absorbed in the details of our daily existence. To truly understand and connect with the ground of being, we must shift our focus from the particulars of life to the whole. This shift in perception is not merely an intellectual exercise, it is a profound transformation that touches every aspect of our existence. Consciousness is the lens through which we perceive reality. It is through consciousness that we experience the world, form thoughts, and develop our sense of self. However, our conscious attention is often limited, focusing primarily on the immediate and the obvious. This focus on the surface level of reality can prevent us from experiencing the deeper layers of existence. Our consciousness is typically drawn to the most stimulating aspects of our environment. Just as we might become mesmerized by the beauty of a sunset or the complexity of a symphony, we can become engrossed in the immediate demands of our lives, our responsibilities, goals, and desires. These aspects of our experience, while important, can overshadow the more subtle, underlying reality of the ground of being. To expand our consciousness and connect with the ground of being, we must learn to quiet the mind and shift our attention inward. This can be achieved through practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and introspection. These practices help us move beyond the surface level of consciousness and tap into a deeper awareness. Meditation and mindfulness are powerful tools for connecting with the ground of being. These practices allow us to cultivate a state of present moment awareness, free from the distractions of the past and future. By focusing on the here and now, we can begin to perceive the subtle, underlying reality that is always present. In meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. This non-judgmental awareness helps us see beyond the surface level of our experiences and recognize the deeper, unchanging reality of the ground of being. Through regular practice, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and connectedness that transcends the fluctuations of daily life. Mindfulness, on the other hand, involves bringing this meditative awareness into our everyday activities. Whether we are eating, walking, or engaging in conversation, mindfulness allows us to stay present and fully engage with each moment. This presence helps us remain connected to the ground of being, even as we navigate the complexities of daily life. The concept of the ground of being is not unique to any single philosophy or spiritual tradition. Across cultures and throughout history, various teachings have pointed to this fundamental reality in different ways. In Eastern philosophies, such as Buddhism and Hinduism, the ground of being is often referred to as the true self, or Brahman. These traditions teach that beneath the ever-changing phenomena of the physical world lies a constant, unchanging reality. By transcending the ego and connecting with this deeper self, we can experience a state of enlightenment and liberation. In Western philosophical and spiritual traditions, similar concepts can be found. For example, in Christian mysticism, the ground of being is sometimes referred to as the divine ground or God's presence. Mystics, such as Meister Eckhart, have spoken of an inner reality that transcends the material world and connects us with the divine. Despite the different terminologies and approaches, these teachings share a common understanding that there is a deeper reality beyond the surface level of our experiences. By connecting with this reality, we can transform our perception of ourselves and the world around us. Modern science, particularly in the fields of quantum physics and neuroscience, also offers insights into the nature of the ground of being. Quantum physics reveals that at the most fundamental level, reality is not composed of solid, discrete particles, but rather of fluctuating fields of energy and probability. This understanding aligns with the notion that beneath the apparent solidity of the physical world lies a more fluid and interconnected reality. Neuroscience, too, provides valuable perspectives on consciousness and the ground of being. Research into the brain's functioning shows that our perception of reality is a construct shaped by sensory input and cognitive processes. By altering our state of consciousness through meditation, mindfulness, or other practices, we can change our perception of reality and tap into deeper layers of awareness. These scientific insights support the idea that the ground of being is not a mere philosophical abstraction, but a fundamental aspect of our existence. By integrating these insights with spiritual and philosophical teachings, we can develop a more holistic understanding of the ground of being and its significance in our lives. Connecting with the ground of being is a transformative journey that requires practice, patience, and perseverance. Here are some practical steps to help you embark on this journey. Cultivate stillness. Set aside time each day to sit in stillness and silence. Allow your mind to settle and your awareness to expand. This practice helps you move beyond the surface level of your thoughts and connect with the deeper reality within. Practice mindfulness. Bring a mindful awareness to your daily activities. Whether you are eating, walking, or working, focus on the present moment and engage fully with your experience. This helps you stay connected to the ground of being throughout your day. Meditate regularly. Develop a regular meditation practice. Choose a technique that resonates with you, such as breath awareness, body scan, or loving kindness meditation. Consistent practice helps you deepen your connection with the ground of being. Engage in contemplative practices. Explore contemplative practices such as journaling, prayer, or nature walks. These activities provide opportunities for reflection and introspection, helping you connect with the deeper layers of your being. Seek guidance. Consider seeking guidance from teachers, mentors, or communities that support your journey. Engaging with others who share your quest can provide valuable insights and encouragement. Embrace the journey. Remember that connecting with the ground of being is a lifelong journey. Be patient with yourself and embrace the process with an open heart and mind. Connecting with the ground of being is not just a philosophical or spiritual endeavor, it has profound practical implications for our lives. By aligning with this deeper reality, we can transform our perception of ourselves, our relationships, and the world around us. By connecting with the ground of being, we develop a deeper awareness of our true nature. This self-awareness helps us understand our strengths, weaknesses, and motivations, leading to greater clarity and authenticity in our lives. The ground of being provides a stable foundation that can help us navigate the ups and downs of life with greater ease. When we are connected to this deeper reality, we are less likely to be swayed by external circumstances and more able to maintain a sense of inner peace and balance. As we deepen our connection with the ground of being, we become more attuned to the interconnectedness of all life. This awareness fosters empathy, compassion, and understanding, enhancing our relationships with others. The ground of being is a source of infinite potential and creativity. By tapping into this deeper reality, we can access new ideas, insights, and perspectives that inspire us to express our creativity in meaningful ways. Connecting with the ground of being promotes a state of holistic well-being, encompassing physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. This balanced state enhances our overall quality of life and supports our journey towards self-realization. One of the most profound realizations that come from connecting with the ground of being is the interconnectedness of all life. This awareness transcends the illusion of separateness and reveals the underlying unity that binds us all. In our daily lives, we often perceive ourselves as separate individuals, distinct from others in the world around us. This perception creates a sense of isolation and division, leading to conflict and suffering. However, when we connect with the ground of being, we begin to see that this separateness is an illusion. Just as the waves on the surface of the ocean are distinct yet part of the same body of water, we too are individual expressions of a greater whole. This realization fosters a sense of unity and interconnectedness, transforming our relationships with ourselves, others, and the world. To truly grasp the significance of the ground of being, it is essential to see how it manifests in our daily lives. By observing and reflecting on our experiences, we can begin to recognize the presence of this deeper reality and align ourselves with it more fully. Time is a tool, a ruler for measuring motion. It is abstract, just like a line of latitude or longitude. We have created it to bring order to our lives, to compare and synchronize our activities. But we must remember, it is not a physical reality, it is a social institution. Our culture, especially in the Western world, places immense importance on time. We are driven by it, enslaved to its ticking clock. This constant chase creates a sense of urgency, a drive that pushes us to meet deadlines and appointments, often causing stress and anxiety. When we fully grasp that time as a convention, we begin to see its true nature. We start to understand that our lives do not have to be ruled by the clock. By shifting our perception, we can break free from this societal construct and move towards a more natural, rhythmic existence. In many indigenous cultures, time is perceived very differently from the linear progression we are accustomed to in the West. For instance, the Hopi people of North America have no word for time. Their language and worldview are structured around the present moment and the cycles of nature. This cyclical understanding of time reflects a deep connection with the natural world and its rhythms, unlike the linear, segmented approach of industrialized societies. In these cultures, time is not something that drives people, but something that flows with them. Events are not scheduled to the minute, but occur in their natural course, guided by environmental cues and social contexts. This perception fosters a sense of harmony with the environment and reduces the stress associated with rigid schedules and deadlines. From the moment we are born, society assigns us an identity. We are told who we are, what is expected of us, and how we should behave. This identity becomes a role we play in the grand game of life. We invest in it emotionally, building it up over time until it feels inseparable from our true selves. But this identity is another social construct, much like time. It is a mask we wear, a part we play, and just like any role, it can be changed. By recognizing the fluidity of our identity, we open ourselves to new possibilities, to new ways of being. As we age, our identity starts to wear out. The roles we once played so well no longer fit us. This realization can be unsettling, but it is also liberating. It allows us to see that we are not defined by these roles. We are much more than the identity we have constructed. Our identities are shaped by a complex interplay of genetic, environmental, and social factors. From early childhood, we absorb cues from our parents, peers, and culture, which influence our beliefs, values, and behaviors. These influences are so pervasive that we often mistake them for our true selves. For example, if a child is repeatedly told they are intelligent and capable, they are likely to develop confidence and a positive self-image. Conversely, if a child is criticized or belittled, they may internalize feelings of inadequacy and develop a negative self-concept. These early experiences lay the foundation for our identities, which we then reinforce throughout our lives. Beneath the constructs of time and identity lies the ground of being, a continuum in which all physical phenomena exist. This ground is what we truly are, but it is often ignored because we are so absorbed in the details of our constructed reality. To experience the ground of being, we must shift our focus from the specifics to the whole. Practices like yoga, meditation, and mindfulness help us achieve this shift. These practices draw our attention to the background of our perception, revealing the underlying reality that we are part of. When we connect with the ground of being, we experience a profound sense of unity and peace. This connection transforms our perception, making us aware that life and death, consciousness and unconsciousness are merely changing modalities within this continuum. Experiencing the ground of being requires us to quiet our minds and tune into the present moment. This can be challenging in a world filled with distractions and constant stimuli, but it is possible through dedicated practice. One approach is mindfulness meditation, where we focus on our breath, bodily sensations, or a specific object, bringing our attention back whenever it wanders. Over time, this practice helps us develop a deeper awareness of the present moment and the underlying reality of our existence. Now let us bring these insights to the concept of genetic destiny. Our genes are often seen as fixed determinants of our health, behavior, and fate. However, recent scientific discoveries suggest that our genes are not as immutable as we once thought. Epigenetics, the study of how behavior and environment can affect the way our genes work, shows us that we have more control over our genetic destiny than we realize. By changing our perception of time and identity, we can influence our genetic expression. Stress, driven by the relentless ticking of the clock and the pressure to maintain our identity, can negatively impact our genes. Conversely, by embracing a more rhythmic, natural way of living, and by letting go of rigid identities, we can create a more harmonious internal environment. To change our genetic destiny, we must first embrace the natural rhythms of life. This means attuning ourselves to the cycles of nature, the rise and fall of the tides, the waxing and waning of the moon, the changing seasons. These rhythms are reflected in our own biological processes, from our heartbeat to our breathing to our sleep cycles. By living in harmony with these natural rhythms, we reduce stress and create a state of balance within ourselves. This balance has a profound effect on our genetic expression. It promotes health and well-being, enhancing our capacity for resilience and adaptation. Our bodies are governed by various biological rhythms, such as circadian rhythms, which regulate our sleep-wake cycles, and ultradian rhythms, which control our energy levels throughout the day. Disruptions to these rhythms, such as irregular sleep patterns or shift work, can lead to a range of health issues, including hormonal imbalances, metabolic disorders, and weakened immune function. By aligning our daily activities with our natural biological rhythms, we can improve our overall health and well-being. This includes maintaining regular sleep schedules, eating meals at consistent times, and incorporating periods of rest and activity throughout the day. Next, we must learn to let go of fixed identities. This does not mean abandoning all sense of self, but rather recognizing that our identity is not static. It is a fluid, evolving aspect of our being. When we hold on to rigid identities, we create tension and resistance within ourselves. This tension can manifest as physical and emotional stress, which in turn affects our genetic expression. By allowing ourselves to be flexible and open to change, we reduce this tension and create a more positive internal environment. Our identities are not fixed but constantly evolving. They are shaped by our experiences, relationships, and the various roles we play throughout our lives. By embracing this fluidity, we can adapt to new circumstances and opportunities for growth. One way to cultivate a flexible identity is to explore new interests and activities, which can expand our sense of self and open us to new possibilities. This can be as simple as trying a new hobby, learning a new skill, or engaging in new skill. Mindfulness and meditation are powerful tools in this journey. These practices help us become aware of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. They teach us to live in the present moment, to experience life as it unfolds, rather than being caught up in worries about the past or future. Through mindfulness and meditation, we connect with the ground of being. We become aware of the underlying reality that we are part of. This awareness brings a sense of peace and unity, reducing stress and promoting a state of balance within ourselves. Research has shown that mindfulness and meditation can have profound effects on our physical and mental health. These practices have been found to reduce stress, lower blood pressure, improve immune function, and enhance emotional regulation. Mindfulness works by helping us develop a greater awareness of our thoughts and feelings, allowing us to respond to situations with greater clarity and calmness. This can lead to improved decision-making, better relationships, and a more positive outlook on life. Our environment and behavior play a significant role in shaping our genetic destiny. The food we eat, the air we breathe, the relationships we nurture, and the activities we engage in all influence our genetic expression. By creating a supportive environment and adopting healthy behaviors, we can positively influence our genes. This includes eating a balanced diet, getting regular exercise, spending time in nature, and cultivating meaningful relationships. These actions create a positive feedback loop, enhancing our overall well-being and promoting favorable genetic expression. The universe operates in cycles and rhythms. The Earth rotates on its axis, creating the cycle of day and night. It orbits the sun, giving us the changing seasons. The moon influences the tides, and its phases impact various biological and ecological processes. These cycles are not merely external phenomena, they resonate within us, influencing our biological rhythms. One of the most well-known biological rhythms is the circadian rhythm, our internal body clock that regulates sleep-wake cycles, hormone release, body temperature, and other vital functions. This rhythm is influenced by external cues like light and darkness, but also has its own intrinsic timing mechanisms. To live in harmony with our circadian rhythm, it's essential to maintain a regular sleep schedule, get exposure to natural light during the day, and reduce exposure to artificial light, especially blue light from screens in the evening. By doing so, we support our body's natural processes, promoting better sleep, enhanced mood, and overall health. Beyond the circadian rhythm, we also experience ultradian rhythms, which are shorter cycles that occur multiple times within a 24-hour period, such as the 90-minute sleep cycles and patterns of alertness and rest throughout the day. Similarly, infradian rhythms are longer cycles that span more than a day, like the menstrual cycle in women, and seasonal variations in mood and behavior. Recognizing and respecting these rhythms can help us optimize our productivity and well-being. For example, taking regular breaks during work to align with ultradian rhythms can prevent burnout and maintain high levels of performance. Understanding infradian rhythms can help us anticipate and manage changes in energy and mood over longer periods. Nature itself follows a rhythm, a dance of creation, growth, decay, and renewal. The changing seasons illustrate this beautifully. Spring is a time of growth and renewal, summer a period of flourishing and activity, autumn a time of harvest and letting go, and winter a phase of rest and reflection. By aligning our activities and lifestyles with these natural rhythms, we can enhance our well-being. For example, in spring, we might focus on new projects and personal growth. In summer, we can engage in more social and physical activities. Autumn might be a time to consolidate our gains and prepare for the quieter, introspective period of winter. Just as the universe and nature have their rhythms, so do we as individuals. Understanding and honoring our personal rhythms can greatly enhance our quality of life and our ability to achieve flow states, those moments of deep immersion and optimal performance where we lose track of time and become fully engaged in what we're doing. Everyone has a unique rhythm, a personal cycle of energy and productivity. Some people are morning larks, feeling most energized and productive in the early hours of the day. Others are night owls, finding their peak performance in the evening. Identifying and honoring your personal rhythm can help you schedule your activities to match your natural energy levels. To find your personal rhythm, pay attention to your patterns of energy and focus throughout the day. Keep a journal to track when you feel most alert and when you tend to feel sluggish. Over time, you'll notice patterns that can help you align your daily schedule with your natural ebbs and flows. Flow states are moments of complete absorption in activity, where we lose self-consciousness and feel a deep sense of enjoyment and fulfillment. Achieving flow requires a balance between the challenge of the task and our skill level. If the task is too easy, we become bored. If it's too difficult, we become anxious. Creating the conditions for flow involves minimizing distractions, setting clear goals, and focusing on tasks that match our abilities while still providing a challenge. Engaging in activities that we are passionate about also makes it easier to enter flow states. Regularly experiencing flow can lead to greater happiness, creativity, and productivity. Just as important as finding our personal rhythms of productivity is recognizing the need for rest. Our culture often glorifies busyness and constant activity, but rest and recovery are essential for sustained well-being and performance. Balancing periods of intense focus with adequate rest prevents burnout and maintains our physical and mental health. Incorporate regular breaks into your day, practice mindfulness or meditation to rest your mind, and ensure you get enough sleep each night. Listen to your body and give yourself permission to rest when needed. By respecting the natural rhythms of activity and rest, you create a sustainable approach to life and work. Mindfulness and presence are key to embracing rhythm and flow. These practices help us become more attuned to our internal states and the rhythms of life around us. By cultivating mindfulness, we can enhance our awareness of the present moment, reduce stress, and improve our overall well-being. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It can be practiced in many ways, from formal meditation to simple daily activities like eating, walking, or washing dishes. The goal is to bring full awareness to whatever you are doing, observing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting caught up in them. Start with short periods of mindfulness practice, gradually increasing the duration as you become more comfortable. Focus on your breath, notice the sensations in your body, and gently bring your attention back whenever your mind wanders. Over time, mindfulness can become a natural part of your daily life. Being present means fully engaging with the here and now. It involves letting go of distractions and mental chatter to connect deeply with the current moment. Presence enhances our experiences, making them richer and more fulfilling. It also improves our relationships as we become more attentive and empathetic. To cultivate presence, practice active listening in your interactions with others. Put away distractions like phones or computers and focus entirely on the person you are with. In your daily activities, try to do one thing at a time, giving it your full attention. Presence is a skill that can be developed with practice, leading to a more connected and meaningful life. Emerging research suggests that mindfulness and meditation can positively influence genetic expression. Practices that reduce stress and promote relaxation can lead to beneficial changes in gene expression related to inflammation, immune function, and overall health. By incorporating mindfulness into your life, you create a positive internal environment that supports your genetic destiny. To truly embrace rhythm and flow, we must integrate these principles into our daily lives. This involves creating routines and habits that align with our natural rhythms, fostering environments that support balance and well-being, and being mindful of the choices we make each day. Establishing routines that honor your natural rhythms can help you maintain balance and flow. This might include setting regular times for waking up and going to bed, scheduling work and leisure activities according to your peak energy levels, and incorporating regular breaks and moments of mindfulness throughout the day. Create a morning routine that sets a positive tone for the day, including activities like meditation, exercise, or journaling. In the evening, establish a wind-down routine to signal to your body that it's time to relax and prepare for sleep. Consistency in your routines helps regulate your body's rhythms and promotes overall well-being. Your environment plays a significant role in supporting or hindering your ability to embrace rhythm and flow. Design your living and working spaces to promote calm, focus, and relaxation. This might include minimizing clutter, incorporating natural elements like plants and natural light, and creating designated areas for work, rest, and play. Consider the sensory aspects of your environment: sounds, smells, lighting, and temperature. Choose elements that soothe and energize you, enhancing your ability to enter flow states and maintain balance. A supportive environment helps reduce stress and fosters a sense of harmony and well-being. Every choice we make influences our well-being and genetic expression. By making mindful choices, we can align our actions with our values and natural rhythms. This includes choices related to nutrition, exercise, social connections, and personal development. Eat a balanced diet that supports your body's needs, focusing on whole, nutrient-dense foods. Engage in regular physical activity that you enjoy, whether it's walking, dancing, yoga, or playing sports. Foster meaningful relationships that provide emotional support and connection. Continuously seek opportunities for growth and learning, nurturing your mind and spirit. In our modern world, technology plays a pervasive role in our lives. While it offers many benefits, it can also disrupt our natural rhythms and hinder our ability to achieve flow. Understanding and managing the impact of technology is crucial for maintaining balance and well-being. From the moment we are born, society assigns us an identity. We are given a name, a nationality, a religion, a gender, and numerous other labels that define who we are supposed to be. These labels form the core of our self-concept, the idea we have about who we are. But what if these identities, which we hold so dearly, are actually limitations that prevent us from experiencing our true selves? Identity is like a mask we wear. It is a role we play in the grand drama of life. But just as an actor is not the character they portray on stage, we are not the identities we assume. To understand and transcend our fixed identities, we must first explore how they are formed and how they influence our lives. From a young age, we are conditioned by our families, schools, and societies to adopt certain identities. We are told what it means to be a good child, a successful student, a responsible adult. These expectations shape our behavior and beliefs, and we internalize them as part of our identity. In many cultures, this conditioning is deeply ingrained. For instance, in collectivist societies, individuals are often taught to prioritize the needs of the family or community over their own desires. This can lead to a strong sense of duty and responsibility, but it can also suppress personal expression and individualism. Conversely, in individualist societies, there is a strong emphasis on personal achievement and independence. While this can foster innovation and self-reliance, it can also lead to isolation and a sense of disconnection from others. Psychologically, our identity is formed through a process of differentiation and integration. As children, we start to differentiate ourselves from others by recognizing our unique traits and abilities. This process is influenced by our interactions with caregivers and peers, as well as our experiences and environment. As we grow older, we integrate these differentiated aspects into a coherent self-concept. This integration is a continuous process, shaped by our ongoing experiences and relationships. However, the self-concept is often rigid and resistant to change, as we cling to familiar patterns and roles. At the core of our identity is the ego. The ego is the part of our mind that creates a sense of self, distinguishing us from others in the external world. It is essential for navigating daily life, making decisions, and protecting ourselves from harm. However, the ego also creates a false sense of separateness and limitation. The ego is like a filter through which we perceive the world. It colors our experiences with judgments, preferences, and fears. While it helps us navigate the complexities of life, it also confines us to a narrow view of reality, preventing us from seeing the interconnectedness of all things. Fixed identities create emotional and psychological constraints. When we identify strongly with a particular role or label, we become attached to it. This attachment can lead to fear of change, fear of failure, and fear of the unknown. We become trapped in a cycle of seeking validation and avoiding anything that threatens our self-concept.